What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
Greetings to everyone out there in the YouTube land. I'm Ahmed Hassanin, and I just want to give a shout out to Coach Dan. Thank you for all the support you show the team and the players. Everyone hit the like, subscription button, and yell woo in the comments. Thank you, and go Lions.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host, once again, Dan Thornton. Hey, want to thank you all for joining us here today. It's Lions Talk Live, Monday show edition, Monday morning show edition even. And hey, we know who's now in the Super Bowl. You seen the contestants yesterday emerge, the two teams that are going to face off. And now what do you think? Let me ask you this. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, which if you're watching the show, I'm guessing you are, where do you think the Lions compare to the final four teams, even the two teams in the Super Bowl? We're going to get our first look at numbers from Vegas predicting who's going to be in the Super Bowl next year. And you know, if you're a Lions fan, you're probably pretty happy with it. We're also going to talk about an unfortunate set of circumstances that are going to face the Detroit Lions. There are a whole lot of reports that came out yesterday suggesting there could be several Detroit Lions no longer a Lion come next year, some of them free agency or otherwise. We're going to start diving into that. You know, you can't keep everybody. That's why there's a salary cap. And when you draft players, typically most teams go through about a 25 to 33% change in roster just with the draft picks. So yes, there'll be some new faces in the Detroit Lions organization next year. We'll dive into that. Hopefully you liked the new intro. Had a little fun with that yesterday while I had a little free time. All right, real quick before we get into the 5 headlines now, main top of the day, everything else in between. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're making that march for 16,200 or roughly 31 subs away from hitting that. So if you can help out with that, that would be great. Also, if you have a 3-second time, it doesn't cost even a dime. Hit the thumbs up button, the like button, hit all the buttons. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more. Thumbs up or likes. Last, never least, if you're considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, let alone the continental United States of America, go ahead and give me a call, shoot me a text. You now see the numbers in your screen, 269-998-2384. You want somebody with over 30 years of experience in the industry, then reach out to me. I'll do everything I can to try to make sure nobody overcharges you, gouges you, leads you astray. You get a great deal, whether selling or buying property. Go ahead and reach out to me. We'll have that conversation, see what all I can do for you to help you out. Also, last but not least, if you want to go to the posts for this show, you can find the link for it. I have a second YouTube channel. If you like odd history, unexplained history, go check it out. Maybe you'll like it. Take a quick peek, and you know what? Hit the like and subscribe buttons on that. All right, with all that done, set out of the way, let's get the show kicking off and going forward with 5 headlines now. All right, 5 glorious headlines now, and this will include the main top of the day. In fact, we're going to kick off with it. Here we go. Lions defender expected to sign with the Jets in free agency report. This is by the heavy, by Paul Edson Jr. And like I was saying at the start of the show, this is being reported from about 50 bazillion different entities yesterday. Lions are going to face some flux, some turnover, and yes, one of their favorite sons, one of their best defenders, sounds like he's already made up his mind and will be departing the Detroit Lions for opportunity to go play for the Jets. Aaron Glenn, you guys all know it. We covered it yesterday's show. He's going through some flux, some change. He's trying to get new people in the organization. And sounds like while he's struggling to get people to interview, one of the things he's not struggling with is getting now potentially former Detroit Lions to come on over and agree to play with him. Alex Anzalone, as you're seeing on your screen, is one of the biggest people on his hit list. He wants Alex to come on over. No firm official word on what it's going to be as far as a contract. If Anzalone does leave Detroit to go over to the Jets, I could probably say this. If Aaron Glenn's going to really, him and the organization is going to try to woo some of these guys over, you're probably overpaying slightly to get them. But the Jets, whether you're the general manager or Aaron Glenn, you probably face the reality of your situation. You cannot afford to have the same type of season you had last year. Why is that? You're going to get canned. So I think they're going to open up the checkbooks and try to go out after him. And while we all know Alex Anzalone is probably on the swan song portion of his career, this is probably his last real opportunity to sign a contract of note. Lions could have extended him last offseason, chose not to. They did give him a bit of a boost, or I guess you could say a pay increase towards the end. I want to say it was like $250,000. And while to most of us, $250,000 is a lot of money, NFL standards, especially for a veteran, same type of level of Anzalone, not the biggest. Another one who's being rumored to go over, and this would be a little bit of a shock, is Levi Onwuzurike. Why is that, you say? Well, think about some of the parts the Jets let go right before the trade deadline. They did kind of tenderize some of their defense, especially the interior. Yeah, Levi Onwuzurike is kind of an enigma to most people because he's got a ton of athleticism, ton of ability. We all know, though, he's got that back situation, and now he's coming off an ACL. The nice thing for Levi Onwuzurike is he'll have well over a full year of ACL recovery before training camp hits. So he should be back at a high level. Will these be the only two people to potentially leave the Detroit Lions and head on over to the Jets or other destinations? Probably not. We probably all can agree Lions have some targeted free agents, whether it's Rocky Osing, Amik Robinson, whoever else you want to list. They're going to have a whole lot of people potentially leaving the building. If you guys had a guess right now in the comments section, who are, say, the top 5 or 8 or 10, however many you want to, I guess, really list, how many people do you think are absolute must-re-signs for this organization? Let me know your thoughts. My personal opinion, one of the people I would target, that would be Amik Robinson. While I wasn't a fan of him playing outside a lot, I do think re-signing him would be a priority for the team. I would like us to get bigger at the cornerback spot, but you're probably not replacing all of your DBs, especially ones of note, in a short order. We all know that he's a little undersized, but he can cover. Again, if he's playing inside in the slot, you're probably enjoying him more. But with Terrion Arnold expected to come back from injury and be just fine this upcoming season, that does he give you 1 6-footer. Amik Robinson, if he's covering the slot a lot, probably his size shows up a little bit less, but you're going to have a lot of flux in the DB situation. We all know Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch are injured, going to spend some time getting back. What point next year can they be back? We're going to have to wait and see. But the Lions are going to have several free agents targeted by other teams, and the Jets will be one of the biggest teams trying to chase them because the familiarity Aaron Glenn has in those players, but they also have in what he expects. He knows what he's going to get when he gets, say, Anzalone, Levi Onwuzurike, or whoever else he targets. Detroit Lions are going to probably have to address this in the offseason. If guys depart, who do you sign to replace, or do you just handle the draft? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Speaking of free agents, as we segue into the next one, predicting next contract for defensive tackle Roy Lopez, Detroit Lions at SI, Vito Sharita with this one. Roy Lopez, I think when we signed him, most Lions fans thought this was a good move. Now, in your opinion, did he outlive the contract he got last year? I can only throw mine out there, and I thought he had one heck of a season. If the Lions don't pay him, somebody else will. That's my personal opinion, and I think when we watched him throughout the season, you saw his impact. You saw his ability to get to the quarterback, shut down the run. I mean, you guys get it. He was all over the place. Another person they're going to have to probably try to re-sign, and this is not a big surprise here. That's going to be Alaquin Muhammad. He's going to pop up. He got 11 sacks. He's going to get some paychecks. But if you guys had to guess what Muhammad or Lopez get paid, let me know your thoughts. My personal opinion, Muhammad's probably looking somewhere around 10 to 12, maybe a little bit more million. Lopez, I don't think he's going to get that kind of paycheck. But he also finished with a PFF Pro Football Focus mark higher than fellow Lions defensive tackle DJ Reader. Reader had a pretty good mark at 68.4. Tyreek Williams, 62.6. Ali McNeil, we get it, did not have a great season. Part of it was probably coming back from the ACL, but he finished with a paltry 51.6. Now Lopez had a 68.7, the 30th best mark amongst 134 qualifying interior defensive linemen. And he did all that on far less snaps than most of the guys you just heard listed. Will he get somewhere around 8 million? I would say, if it was my opinion, it's probably going to be somewhere around 6 to 7.5 million. Is that too much in your opinion for Roy Lopez? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section if you would be so kind. All right, Detroit Lions Super Bowl odds revealed. That's right. Vegas has already started putting out information for the Super Bowl, next year's Super Bowl, not the one coming up here in a couple weeks. But the Lions, hey, they might have surprised some people here. Let's take a peek at it as it's all going to be revealed. Seattle Seahawks are number one. You see the numbers. I don't know what the numbers mean. You guys do. I don't gamble, so take it all with a grain of salt. But quickly, you can go down the list and see the Lions are tied for third, or I guess it's, depending on how you want to look at it. But anyways, Seattle Seahawks are plus 950, Buffalo Bills plus 1,000. I would actually be surprised by this just because they have a new coach, some flux, some turnover on the roster. We'll see, of course, what happens this offseason. But check out the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Detroit Lions, all sitting there at plus 1,300. Lions, I think no matter how you get away from it or how you want to look at the numbers, we can all agree with this. Lions are one of the most talented teams in the NFL. And yes, I do believe they've got a legitimate shot. I know I did a story a couple, 2 weeks ago or so now, saying, in my humble opinion, when trying to be as fair as I could be, analyzing the players, the positions, groups, etc. Lions have one of the best, if not the best offensive setups in the NFL. That's why I thought a lot of OCs would want to come here, because when you look at all the skill position players, beginning with the stability at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, you guys get it. If they can just fix the offensive line. Jared Goff, as we all now know, had the 30th best pass blocking, was it 20th best, 22nd best run blocking. I mean, those are paltry, bad numbers for any offensive line. And the fact that he was still somewhere around an MVP candidate with all that going on, do you revisit some of those games where he got blasted and roasted and maybe didn't have his best performances? Maybe with a better offensive line, he would have done better there. I'll leave that to your personal opinions. But I think we can agree is Vegas is not built on losing money. Vegas wins lots of money. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a Vegas. And Vegas now going into 2026/7 season without free agency, without the draft, as things sit right now, as your Detroit Lions sitting there as tied for the third to fourth best opportunity get to the Super Bowl next year. If that happens, that goes down. How are you feeling about the Detroit Lions next year? I think we're all going to be partying on the streets over in Detroit, probably, if that goes down, or wherever you reside. All right, next 5 headlines now, helping out maybe the Detroit Lions Super Bowl chances. Packers botched defensive coordinator hire makes Lions' lives easier in 2026. New Detroit Jock City, story by John Alford. So if you didn't catch this while trying to get ready for all sorts of stuff and ready for the games yesterday, yes, the Green Bay Packers did make a hire. Yes, the Green Bay Packers, maybe it's going to come down to your personal opinion, because I don't know enough about the guy to have an opinion, but I'm going to trust the reporter on this one who penned the story. And if you didn't notice it, Lions struggled with the Packers to a certain degree last year. I think a lot of that just came down to, the offensive line. I thought overall, especially when we played them a second game, Lions looked as even with the Packers as any team could, really. Packers did get 2 up on Detroit, swept the season. Was that John Morton's fault? I'll leave that to you to debate. But you guys all know their defensive coordinator took off and signed to become a head football coach. Replacing him is Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon, if you didn't know who he was, talk about the Arizona Cardinals coaching staff being in high demand. Well, we signed their OC. Packers said, not so fast. Hold my Mountain Dew. We're going to sign their now former head coach to be the defensive coordinator. Again, I haven't studied him enough to know if he's good, bad, or indifferent. But at least per this report, they are going to say that it's a downgrade, and a significant downgrade for the Packers defense. I would agree, because, in no disrespect to any coach, I think every coach, if you get to where you're at, you've earned the right to be there. But Jeff Hadley, I mean, let's also be fair when trying to be as analytical as possible about the Packers hire. They lost a big part of why they were relevant last year. Hadley, his defenses were pretty dang tough. You can have your thoughts that maybe Brian Flores with the Minnesota Vikings was a little bit better, but Hadley was pretty dang good. He knew how to free up pressure up front, and that causes most teams. Offensive line is good or bad or whatever, it doesn't matter. You find a way to get home. I thought he did a good job. Losing him alone is a big loss for the Packers. It's a big plus for the Detroit Lions. Now, can you say that the former Cardinals head coach is going to do an even better job with Jonathan Gannon, that is, replacing him? We'll find out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But I do think the Lions ultimately, probably like other teams in the NFC North, are winners because of the departure of the now former defensive coordinator. All right, fixing the Detroit Lions offensive line issues. The last word on sports by Sue Levine. Haven't had Sue on here in a while with some of her stories. We all probably can agree at this point now, Frank Ragnow's departure, retirement, really set the Lions offense back. Not just from a pass blocking standpoint, but also run blocking. Lions interior offensive line was not good by any stretch of the imagination, no matter whose numbers you were looking at when it came to pass blocking, run blocking. If you can't do both, it's hard to really do much on offense. That also being said, Big Sue's got an idea for who to replace, who the Lions bring in. If we don't go out and have a purposeful meaning to draft a center, she's got two candidates, and one of them is probably a no-brainer for Detroit Lions fans. Tate Ratledge did fine. She does not think that he's going to move over to center. Keep that young man where he's at the guard. There are some free agent options. So let's go through them. The number one, you guys already know, Tyler Linderbaum. Just a phenomenal season in 2025. He didn't just lead the NFL when it came to interior run block grade with an 83.7. Let me tell you, that's dang hard to replicate anywhere. If you could have Superman out there blocking, I don't know if you get an 83.7. But anyways, an overall score between pass blocking, run blocking, he had an 80.2. So that just kind of goes to show with Linderbaum, it doesn't matter what you ask him to do. He's going to dominate at it. He's expected to get a pay increase somewhere anywhere from $17 million to $22 million. She says, I say hogwash that. I think the dude's going to end up getting somewhere around $25 million. Maybe that's with incentives, but you guys get it. Linderbaum is going to be up there. Assuming that there's going to be about 99 billion teams trying to assign him to a contract. Big Sue's got the idea of the Carolina Panthers, Cade Mays, he's 26 years old, being another option for the Detroit Lions. Now, with him, I like him. I like him a lot. And you could probably sign him for somewhere in the neighborhood to 10 to 15 million. And that does impact things. But also understand you're dropping down a wee bit from him. Would he be an upgrade over what we had last year? Absolutely. Last year, the 26-year-old center, not as accomplished as Linderbaum, but he still had a very respectable overall pass block, run block grade combined of 62.4. Puts him in the top 10 in the NFL at centers. So while I think we all agree, Linderbaum or bust this offseason, if you can't get him because you lose the bidding war, you do need to be ready for some other options out there. Another one would be New Orleans Saints center Luke Fruntner. Fruntner's 27 years old. A little bit better pass blocking grade at 72.5. Run blocking's a little bit lower at 59.8. With that being said, you get it. He's got some strengths. He's got some weaknesses. 27 years old. Can he still be beefed up a little bit to do better? Probably with better pieces around him. The Saints offensive line, my personal opinion, Luke would be better because he got better talent around him at the skill positions, but also the guard positions. So he could be somebody, and he's expected to get somewhere between 6 to 8 million. It's obviously Linderbaum or bust if you really want the Lions to make the biggest move possible to increase that offensive line. If it was up to me, and Sue Levine didn't ask, nor did the Duke crew, but, I'll throw it at you anyways, free of charge today only. I would be all in for Linderbaum because putting him anywhere near Penei Sewell, Ratledge, you get it from the center over on that right side. It's taken care of. You don't have to do anything. If you assume Miles Frazier or Christian Mahogany are going to be okay at guard, now it really just comes down to getting a left tackle. Could it be, Giovanni Manu? Could it be Miles Frazier? Could it be, somebody else? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I think if I'm the Detroit Lions, I've got people parked outside Linderbaum's house. As soon as it hits midnight on free agency day, I'm making him an offer he can't refuse. All right, that's it for the 5 headlines. Now, real quick before we get back over to the main topic of the day, a number of you guys asked about these caps. I had the wife look into it. You guys will have to let me know, but she can order, I think the minimum is 20 of them. The problem with these things becomes the cost to get them to you guys, shipping. And that's something I can't answer. It sounds like it's going to be about 18, 19 bucks to get one of these things. And then whatever it costs to ship to you guys. Obviously, everybody's shipping is going to be different because y'all live in different places. So if that's something you guys really want, if we can get 20 of you guys to say yes to it, then you know what? We'll go ahead and try to get them all set for you guys. All right, let's get back over to the main topic of the day. I know we already talked about it a little bit, but let's beat it up a little bit more before we get over to the Duke Crew comment section. 1, 2, 3, main topic of the day. It is inevitable that at some point players are going to leave from the team. Lions are going to face a lot of that this offseason. We already have seen Dan Skipper retire. I think we're all assuming Glasgow is going to retire. Decker's going to either retire or get cut. So there's 3 big faces from your organization right off the bat. Now, multiple different reports yesterday talking about, and this came out later in the day. I didn't want to bug you guys during the football games, but Alex Anzalone is more than likely going to be wooed, I guess you could say, by the Jets, and he won't be the only one. Levi Onwuzurike, maybe DJ Reader, some other people are going to be wooed by the Jets or other teams. You're going to face some significant turnover. Well, that being said, some of your leaders are going to be leaving the team. Alex Anzalone, whether you think he's still one of the top coverage linebackers out there, whatever, I think that's irrelevant. He's a real good one. I don't know if he's still one of the top ones in the league. He's up there, though. But he has a locker room presence, and you start losing him, Taylor Decker, Glasgow, maybe a little bit more quiet of a locker room presence. You got to replicate that in there. You got to get people to step up and replace them. How would you go about replacing some of these guys who are going to leave? Are there other people, like I said, Amik Robertson that leaves, Raquel Singh? Do you think these guys leave? What do you do if you're Brad Holmes? It really comes down to the salary cap, in my humble opinion. There are all sorts of reports out there. The Lions are going to be able to roll. I think it's like $22 million over next year. And some say that's going to leave us with $14 million in cap space. There are other reports out there that say we'll be -3. I don't know. I guess it comes down to who's cooking the books that day. But the Lions are going to have to free up some money to go out and now re-sign some people. If Alex Anzalone leaves, that doesn't free up any of your cap space. But if Decker retires, that does free up some. Glasgow, same thing there. And now do you restructure some contracts? I just talked to you guys minutes ago about Linderbaum. I don't think I'm breaking any news by saying that should probably be the Lions' number 1 priority this offseason is to get that offensive line right. Because you get that offensive line right, you know what you can do? Just like when he went 15-2. You can control the ground game. You control the passing game. You protect your quarterback. You open up holes for your running backs. You know what? That defense gets a little bit more time to rest. How would you address some of these potential departing players? Are there other players that you think that will get poached up by Aaron Glenn or somebody else across the NFL that I haven't mentioned? It's going to be a tumultuous offseason for the Detroit Lions. I think we are going to see a lot of change in the organization as far as the personnel on the 53-man roster. Now, the big question is, how much of that is you replace them via the draft or free agency? Let me know your thoughts, if you would be so kind, in the comments section. All right, guys, let me scroll to the top of the screen, get talking to you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the new intro. I had a little fun with it, and hopefully I know one thing I'll throw out there real quick. When you're working with AI, I've been working with it for about 6 months now. I think I've gotten pretty advanced at it, but getting it to understand the English language and how to use it, let me tell you, that is nothing but just to get that clip of Dan Campbell and try to get the stuff on the card he holds up correct. It takes about an hour because AI keeps moving words around more and more and more. It doesn't understand sentence structure the best. All right, Michael, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan at Duke Crew, exclamation point, one pride, woo, and back at you. Moon Scar Blade, good morning, Duke Crew, starting lineup, exclamation point, go Seahawks. Yeah, I think they're going to probably win. Jen, good morning, all. Roads are rough this morning, and it'll be safe, Jen, and thank you for always tuning in. Detroit Mac, good morning, Duke Crew. I got my smoke, I got my coffee, I got no Bears, Packers, or Stafford in the Super Bowl. Woo! Well, hey, it might be a win for a lot of Lions fans. And, yeah, has anybody seen Broski Bear? I feel like we haven't seen him since the beatdown in Chi-Town by the Lions at the end of the season. Johnny, good morning, folks. Back at you, Johnny. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Super Bowl belongs to the NFC. Exclamation point. Woo! Yeah, Seahawks, man, they look very complete. And I do want to give some credit to the New England Patriots. I mean, what they've done in 1 year, basically, is noteworthy. They've got, a young quarterback out there doing some stuff. They played in adverse weather conditions yesterday. We'll see if they can make a game of it. Go, Dan. I'm sure AG will try for several coaches and players. I concur with your assessment of the situation. Miles Meyer, greetings, salutations. Yay, Hawks! Exclamation point. I'm down with that. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew. What a team. What a podcast. Exclamation point. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! And what a time to hang out with Henry Moore Sr. Jen, man, that guy number 11 for the Seahawks, Smith, Yabba Dabba Doo, is their version of St. Brown. Might be accurate. Pierce, well, Angelini wants one more back. Yeah, I get it, man. It's what you do for a living. You want to secure stuff. I mean, I don't know how many kids he has now, but it feels like he's got 3 or 4. He wants to probably make life a little bit easier post-playing. Jen, Miles Meyer, yeah, Woolen really made a big mistake that almost cost the Hawks the game. Yes, indeed. Let's see, just Peyton pulled a Campbell and didn't take the points, cost his team going to the Super Bowl. There will be some talking about that, I'm sure, all week long. And if you guys don't know what he's talking about, I want to say it was in the first quarter. Denver was up 7-0. They got down, I want to say, the 15-yard line, had a 4th and 1, decided to go for it instead of taking the points. Threw an interception, if I'm not mistaken. I was only kind of paying attention. But anyways, they lost by 3 points. So, yes, that played a factor for sure. Johnny L, hope the Lions staff and in players watch that Seattle defense is sick. Yeah, it's pretty dang good. Answer 14, greetings, salutations, coach and Duke Crew. Restore dominant O-line and patch up the secondary will make this team beastly again. Woo! I like the way you were foretelling of the future, Answer 14. Good to see you, man. It's been a hot minute since we've seen you on the show. Lauren, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Wish you all have a great day and stay warm, my friend. Henry Moore, Sr., good morning, Johnny, L, Bo, Jess, Jen, Pierce, and Conan. How about everybody? Big Eddie, Seattle is going to dominate the Super Bowl. I'm thinking they win by 20. I could see that. Yeah, 100%. Pierce, hopefully that's not DDI in the thumbnail. Let's hope not. Johnny L, good morning, everybody. Jen, morning, Henry. Pierce, Henry Moore, good morning. Miles Murray, yes. Stupid act by Woolen. SP probably learned a lesson. Probably true at Jen. Lauren, Henry Moore, good morning, sir. Moonscar Blade, kudos to Sam Darnold. 5th team in 8 years, back-to-back 14-win seasons. Now you're going to play for the ship. Tired of living vicariously through others. Lions turn next year. I like the way you're thinking. Yeah, and one thing I want to say is the 2018 draft. He's the only quarterback to make it from that draft class, or the first one. Maybe that's a better way to word it, to make it to the Super Bowl. So that's over your Josh Allens, your Lamar Jacksons, and others. And I get everybody says, hey, those guys are the best quarterbacks. But you know what they haven't done? They haven't made the Super Bowl yet. And, yep, Sam Darnold somehow has. Jen Mosmer, yep, and it was Woolen is a free agent. That was not smart. It happens. France, how many free agents will we lose? Question mark. I'll guess about 20 to 24. That could be accurate, yeah. Bears really don't need another year of DDI. I don't think we'll get it, but I've been wrong before. Johnny, that was some good football this weekend for sure. Yeah, pretty blessed with that. Miles Martin, did any team have a great special team season? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Spec team, says Miles Barker. All right, Johnny L, Denver and the Snow Bowl. It was, man. I was watching it, and I want to say second quarter, it was cold out, but we didn't really have snow. And then that second half happened, and oof, we got bad in a hurry. Anymore, good morning, Lauren and Moonscar. Did anyone else looking at the Vikings and saying, what were you thinking? Yeah, probably a lot of people with that. I get it. You invested a first-round pick in JJ. You thought maybe there was more there, and maybe there will be more. But you got to be fair to JJ. He was more or less a rookie last year since he lost basically the entire rookie season. Dave Bing, Vikings are kicking themselves for letting Darnold walk. So are the Jets and whoever else he played for. Yeah, he played for quite a few teams. I can't even remember them all. Pierce, Jen, I am very happy they messed up. Yes, I think most Lions fans are. But O'Connell can't admit he was wrong. It happens. Johnny Scholar is an insane special teams player. All right. Let's see. David, we should have signed Darnold and let Goff go. We would have saved about $20 million if only would have known, right? JC, really salutations, coach and crew. Exclamation point. I wonder if Rams fans will jump on McVay for not kicking the field goal instead of going for it on 4th down in the red zone. Wonder if Vikings fans will forgive letting Darnold go now. Probably not on any of that. Johnny, the quarterback from the Broncos, he didn't look too shabby. No, given all the circumstances that young man was put in, especially with the weather in the second half, I thought he did as well as you could really have hoped. Bears, France, of those 2024, only one I really, really want gone. I wonder who that could be, laughing out loud. Jen Pierce, oh yeah, helped us for sure. I'll concur. Johnny, how about Sam Darnold from backup to Super Bowl? Good for him, man. Hey, one of the things I learned a long time ago as a coach, and it's not a universal rule, is that you can't give up on players too soon, especially young quarterbacks. You guys get it. NFL, it's a now league. And I was just talking about J.J. McCarthy. If you really want to know if he's going to be something, you probably got to give him 2-3 seasons. He lost his rookie season, got one preseason game in and a couple weeks of training camp. So is he going to be the next Sam Darnold? I don't know, but you see it with like Trey Lance this past year. You watched him against the Lions in preseason. You could see he's clearly developed and evolved as a quarterback. Now, will some team give him the opportunity to really come forth? And just using like Lions lore, prior to Jared Goff, I would have said Eric Kramer is probably the biggest comeback story ever. He was nothing. Him, Bob Gagliano. I mean, these guys were walking the streets, kicked out of other leagues. And look what they did for the Detroit Lions. I mean, Eric Kramer probably significantly more than Bob Gagliano. All right, Pierce, Jen, now we get the 6th easiest schedule in the NFL. And guess who has the hardest? I wonder who. Johnny, man, I really like the Seattle Seahawks chances. Me too. Great. People quit on players too soon. Fans and coaches, Sam is just a big example that most players need time to gel into the NFL. Good for him. Yeah, great for him indeed. Johnny, autocorrect stinks. I'll go with that. Dre Day. If Alex leaves for the Jets, then it shows it's all about the money and not winning a bowl. Get that money, old man. Yeah, 100%. It's one of your probably last paychecks. Take advantage of it. I get you 100% there, Dre Day. Jen, exactly, Pierce. Can't wait for the Bears to enjoy the schedule next year. Also, Detroit will be hungry again on a 4th-place schedule. I think you are right on all those. Jess, greetings, salutations, Duke. Where is Broski? Still hiding? Probably. Johnny, so AA is going to the Jets. There are a lot of reports that came out yesterday suggesting that that's more or less already a done deal. We'll have to see because obviously nothing can happen yet. So wink, wink there. JK told you it was Pat's Seahawks Bowl, and you were correct. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. I hate it when people say it's all about the money. It's their jobs. Exclamation point. How many of us area thinking lesser paying jobs? Everyone takes new jobs because of those paychecks. Could be a lot of level of truth there. Until then, good morning. Figured they would lose Alex Anzalone. He is a step slower each year. Still solid coverage, but his pursuit and pass rush has been slower. Example, chasing down J.J. McCarthy. Yes, you are right with that. Jim, a fumbled punt and drop pass late in the game preventing Rams win. Yeah, and he saw McVay and others consoling Puka Nacua on the sidelines. Yeah, he was pretty busted up about it. Let's see, JK, adios, amigos, indeed. Johnny L, where has JDC been? I don't know, man. That's a good question. Very good question. Maybe he's just hiding in the sidelines. I don't know. Johnny L, I guess I use the Dragon too much. I'm not sure what the Dragon is. Tell the Hun, the Lions hopefully draft Deron Lawson or Jacob Rodriguez. Could be. Susan Scott's time for Brad to sign Alex's replacement or draft someone. Yeah, I know one of the people I've talked to a few of you guys about. I know my brother and Tim and I have talked about it. Is Styles, the linebacker from Ohio. Just because he's a safety who's now a linebacker, he's got coverage skills. He's 6'4", he's athletic. It's possible. Johnny can't type too fast. It happens. Jen, a lot of teams have top players as free agents. Hopefully, Brad Cooks. Let's hope so. Vincent, good morning, Coach Dan and the new crew. You're strong, too, as well, my friend. Be warm, be safe. Trey Day. Trey Tippin, people work for free a lot of times to get status. It's just not offered to everyone. Correct with that. Yep, Johnny L. Brad better wake up. Let's hope he does wake up. That'd be good. Otherwise, we'll have to get him some Mountain Dew. Johnny L., if Brad can't get it right this offseason, he needs to be to go. We'll see if we can get him to go. Jim, how much money does a player make winning the Super Bowl? There are incentives and bonuses and different contracts, but also players, just so you guys know, they get something for the NFL for each playoff game, and it does go up with each playoff game. Let's see, until then, there are better and younger, more consistent third down edges in free agency or draft who overpay Alquan Muhammad for the 4 games a season he is effective for. Yeah, to your point, Attila, he was either on or off. And I think we all like him, but how much are you going to pay for somebody who's not more consistent, I think is your point. Jen, yes, Brad needs to get busy. Let's see if he can get busy with it in free agency. Vincent, for real, Brad better not sit on his hands this offseason. I hope he doesn't. Moonscar Blade, I would love to see JDC back on here. Hopefully he's still watching. Heard that another Duke Crew member said something that he didn't care for and has not been around since, I guess. I think, he was gone for a little bit after that, Moonscar. Then he came back for a little bit and then disappeared again. So hopefully everything's okay with him. Shamir, Rams are out. Yes, they got knocked out. The mama knocked them out. How about that? Shamir, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew fam. And back at you, JK Rams, laughing out loud, Lions up. Let's do it. Henry Moore Jr., good morning, everyone. Hope everyone has a good weekend. It's still cold out. Woo! Yeah, I was actually surprised there was still school around where I live because it's like 7 degrees out. I'm like, man, you're asking little kids to sit out there and wait for the bus in 7-degree weather? Interesting. Johnny L., it's 12 degrees here. Time to go to the beach. You're a lot warmer than here. Jen, so is Stafford going to retire or will he be back for another year? Word is he said he will come back next year. JK, February, you weary February? Okay. Professor Kurtzio, we're doing a similar show today on the Boss Up Ball channel. Hey, that's good to know. And, man, good to see you, man. It feels like it's been a hot minute since we've seen you, Professor. Tell the Hun, watch the NFC game. If Taron Arnold would have given up the TD that Woolen did, would have been roasted by Detroit fans. Probably accurate. Jen, good morning, Professor Steele. Johnny, Professor Steele, how are you? With a question mark. Lauren, Professor Steele, good morning, boss. Professor Kurt Steele, Lauren, good morning. Mary, good morning, Duke Crew. Steele, good morning, Queen Mary. Lauren, Mary, good morning. About 6 weeks of puppies. 6 weeks on puppies. Okay, all right, enjoy the puppies, man. Lauren, who's the other guy in the thumbnail? Levi Onzurike. You got Levi, and then you got Alex Anzalone. Heading more, a glorious morning to my brother, Professor Steele. Let's see, Steve Rogers, Kurt Steele still around? Yes, he is. Queen Mary, good morning, Professor Lauren, Henry, and Johnny. Silver, until the Hun, they are not pulling a dime out of their pocket to resign Muhammad. You can bet safely on that. Good to know. Johnny, good morning, Queen Mary. Mary Smith, Lauren is a thumbs up. Silver, and good morning, Coach and all Lions faithful. Back at you. Answer 14. Just looking forward to late in the game, and we start to learn the opposing D lines and impose our will. D-Money pawning the rock like a dog. The Lions 2024 team just kept punching you in the face. They did 100%. They were very physical at the line of scrimmages. Jen, okay, everyone, I'll be listening. Time to get things up and running at work. Be safe, everyone. Back at you. 5 Fingers Freddy. We're going to be much younger team overall next year. Many of the old guard will be gone. I agree with that. JK, I'm waiting for that darn presser, not standing around waiting for my sheet metal knocks. All right. Queen Mary, good morning, Silver. Paper bag fan. Some of you haven't seen it, I'd say. Greetings, salutations, Duke Crew from southeastern Massachusetts. Just spent last 2 hours digging myself out, but only made a scratch. Stay warm all. Hey, stay very warm, my friend, and stay safe in the cold. Silver, Queen Mary, good morning, dear Johnny. Queen Mary, you are number 16 away from being you know who, all right? K-Long, other than AA, who else will leave? Now you know at least some speculation on that, K-Long. So small, biggest offseason in recent years is here. That might be very, very true. Moonscar Blade, it appears even with rolling over $20 million in cap space, plus the projected $304 million cap space, Lions are still $5 million over. That's currently the practice squad retainer contracts. Brad Holman has work to do. Yeah, I've seen that with the rollover 15 to 22 million. I've seen others saying we're down 7 million, so I'm not sure what to make of it. Queen Mary, Johnny, thumbs up and exclamation points, or how about the question mark, exclamation points? Silver, Johnny, your numbers aren't playing around either. Morning, John, Johnny L. Oh, but Jesus, I didn't realize that. Silver. Tori Apple, Rams blew that game. Might be true. Let's see, JK, mixed sour apple G's. All right, Marsha. I get to attach to players like I know them personally. Wish they all could stay in Detroit Lions team. Yeah, wish they could all stay. Johnny L, time to revamp. It is. Silver, smiling strong at JL. All right. Mike, Pat Stafford, doing Pat Stafford things. How about that? Johnny L, the show has started. I'm going to just listen. Peace out. Well, enjoy your day. Black Jared Jones, good morning, Duke Crew. Silver Surfer is waiting. Dennis, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Joseph, the Lions are as good as either one of the teams in the Super Bowl. I would say they're on par with a lot of them for sure. I agree with you. Aiden Pierce, been watching for a year, but this is my first live show. Love you, Coach Dan. Keep it up. Woo! And back at you. Hey, thanks for being a part of the Duke Crew. Hey, 100% there. Professor Kurt Steele, what up, though, Duke Crew? Exclamation point. And back at you. Attila, Troy better offense than both. Defense equal to New England's. Win healthy, not as fast or athletic as Seattle. No, Seattle's defense, they're probably pretty legit. Server, Marsha, I am right there with you. Enzo, not only dear to us, but also a heck of a player. I concur. Joseph, pretty sure Seattle will win the Super Bowl. I think that's probably where most people are going, but I don't know. JK, I won 400, 700 if Sox win everything. All enjoy and congrats, my friend. Jonathan, good morning. Back at you. Queen Mary, if you guys are interested in knowing about Drew Pretz, watch an interview on Rocked On. It's talked about his start and why the Lions wanted him. Okay. Yeah. It's probably, yep. Okay. Let's see. Henry Moore Jr., I agree with Tella. Dennis, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Jonathan, not surprised, didn't think we were going to resign Alex. Yeah. And maybe that's what it comes down to is Alex just knows the interest level from the Lions and just choosing to go somewhere he can get one last paycheck. JK, Mary already had. Thank you. Until the Alex Anzalone story was covered by 50 sources, but it was the same story repeated by everyone. Yeah, that might be accurate, 100%. Mary Smith, you're welcome, JK, 100.1%. Brad Holmes got major work to do. Yes, he's going to have to do some work this offseason, no doubt about it. Independent Aquaman, man, talking about something we haven't seen in a minute. Good morning. Woo! Exclamation point. I've set my alarm for now, from now on because I'm exercising, trying to get in shape for a military fitness test in a month to try to get in reserves. Go Lions. Hey, good luck with that. Yeah, if you need anything from the Duke Crew, ask, and I'm sure somebody can help you. But good luck with that, getting ready for the test. All right, General Bob, good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you. Kate ain't pressed. Why is Aaron Glenn trying to take our players? I think just, familiarity with what he wants. Plus, he knows who they are, what they do, their plus and minuses, stuff like that. Server, Dre Day. AA is on his last contract. He is a heck of a player. Lions should pay him or just tell him thank you and good luck. Maybe they have. Free for all. Note to Seattle. This time, if you are running back is dominant, the Pats, if you find yourself at the 1 yard line, don't call a pass play. Probably accurate. JK, the picture of Rakestraw weird? No pictures of Rakestraw? No, I didn't. He's not going to be a free agent, so he can't sign where Lions can cut him though, and he can go somewhere. Amy, good morning. Dan of the Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Gosh, it saddens me to lose great players. It will be what it will be. Yes, 100%. Silver. Thank you, Mary. I saw that. I am already a big supporter of Dr. Drew. Yeah, I like him. I like everything I've learned about him so far. We'll see what shakes. Moonscar Blade, yes, Amik was meant to be in the nickel, but he can move outside when needed. Yeah, it's probably not his biggest strength, Amik Robinson playing outside, because he is going to be vastly undersized compared to those guys. But in the nickel, he does pretty well. Kim, if they won't get any younger, some of our faves will leave. They will make it the best decision of their situation. Like Levi, but he's not dependable to be available. No, he's not. He has not had a history for the Lions of being available. Michael, woo! Good morning, Duke Crew. How about those hats? When are you taking orders, Coach? We, the Duke Crew, want them hats. Yeah, if we get like 20 people to say they want them, we'll get them ordered. Just keep in mind, guys, I can't tell you what your shipping costs are going to be because I don't know until I know what your addresses are. But you're looking at like $18 or so a hat plus shipping. Easy. Duke Crew, baby. I gotta love the Duke Crew. Queen Mary, silver 100%. Just putting it out there for us or whoever wanted to know. JK, Duke Crew, beanies, nice promo, Dan. Yeah, I've had this one for a few years. A couple of you guys have asked for it in the last couple of shows. So the wife did some research on it. Let's see, easy. 38 sacks, career high. 38 sacks would be a career high, 100%. Xavier Goody of Sanitations, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Hope you have a blessed day. Exclamation! Would like to see them go to the Super Bowl. Hey, who wouldn't like to see Lions in the Super Bowl? Let's see, J-Mo Lions King. In your opinion, Lopez and Muhammad would be good re-signings. I didn't miss AA, but with Campbell improving so much, it wouldn't hurt so much with the AA leaving. No, and that could be part of the plan, or draft somebody to replace Alex Anzalone, maybe, or free agency, who knows. Sir, can't wait to see some free agency movement. Man, I have never been so eager to know what's going to happen in the draft, of course. Hey, you'll be here in a couple months. Eddie, I like defensive tackle Roy Lopez, and if I was the Lions, I would have signed him now on the Super Bowl list for 2026-7. I do not think the Lions will make the Super Bowl because of what I've seen from them. All right. Pierce, Uncle Muhammad, not going to be worth the money he will get. That might be true. And he is also on the wrong side of 30. That is also a factor. Eddie, I love the Lions like everybody else, but every time we get our hopes up, we get let down again. Hey, that's part of the process. Remember, there will be 31 teams and fan bases that will be disappointed this year. JK, bringing a med win here. Where's his daddy in the chat? I don't know. Maybe just off season. I don't know. Eddie, I would love to see the Lions win the Super Bowl, but I would be excited if we did, but I do not see it happening. All right. Well, we'll never see it happen until it happens, right? Jonathan, we're not going to get Linderbaum. Ravens will franchise tag him for $15.8 million. They're going to restructure the Lamar contract to free up cap. Okay, maybe that's what they'll do. Lauren, Ahmed's dad ain't here today. It happens. J-Mo Lions King, McGrevin from Buffalo is also an option. Yeah, 100%. So, Coach, I looked around. I really don't see any great team in the playoffs tree. What I mean is that the Detroit Lions, even after the erroneous season, don't care about stats. Couldn't have won it. All right, could have won it indeed. Eddie, if Alex Anzalone goes to the Jets, it would be a big mistake by the Lions not to resign him. We'll see what shakes out. So, Eddie, it's easy to bet against Detroit, but remember, Han Solo saying, never give me the odds. I like the way you were thinking right there, Server. Bo, Linderbaum, or bust, exclamation point, center. Let's get a center. Got 30 for that hat. All right. I want one, says Steve. Mary, count me in, Coach. I'm sure want one. We'll try to get one. Yes, on cap. All right. Sign me up for the hat. Okay. Me too, Coach. Do Crew hat. Sounds like we got about 6 right there. Eddie, if I was Alex Anzalone, I would not play for the Jets because they will never win. Nothing because they were poorly owned, and I don't want to put up with losing. Yeah, I think if he goes there, he's doing it for the paycheck. Eddie, can't believe we'd keep Barnes over Alex Anzalone with age being a factor. All right. Lauren, I get another site that everything is made to order, so Coach won't have to order in bulk and ship them himself. Yeah, if you want to send me that site, we'll take a peek at it. And I know she looked at like 3 or 4 different places. The prices swung around, and I think she was just trying to find the cheapest ones for everybody. Easy. Strong offense helps the defense too. I concur. Bo, Lauren, let Jen know. No one's half the battle. Lauren, I sent it to Coach in a text. Thank you for that. Eddie, Lions should not have Goff and St. Brown in those big contracts. Now they will have to restructure those big contracts. Waste of time. That's just part of it. I think they went into those contracts knowing they were going to redo them. Bo, cool. It's cool to be Bo. Johnny Gas Sports, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point, back at you. Mary Smith, good morning, Johnny Gas. Johnny, hi, Mary. Carrie, good morning, everyone. Vernon, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Queen Mary, he reminds me of D-Mo speaking on Smith from the Seahawks. Yeah, probably some similarities. Blind Tom, what do you got? Do you think Dave Montgomery is going to stay? I don't know, man. I think a lot of it comes down to the cap, one, and does he want to be here? You know, if Petzing can talk him into it, then maybe that helps lessen his desires to leave. I don't know. Queen Mary, good morning, Gary. Silver Surfer, man, that going on 4th down is looking more and more like the dumbest thing in football. Hope Dan Campbell keeps learning. We'll see. Ben, good morning, Coach. Dan, yes, on the beanie. Go Lions 25-26. I like the way you're thinking, and yeah, sounds like we'll have to get these handled. Silver Surfer, morning, Johnny Gaz, exclamation point, Lions football is fire. Blind Tom, he also played for the Carolina Panthers. Correct with that. Hey, I forgot about that too. Yeah. So I take Goff over Darnold every single day of the week. Don't care what Darnold wins. All right. So morning, Kerry. Blind Tom, I would take JJ as a backup for the Lions any day. Queen Mary, I get one right. I had picked the Seahawks over the Broncos. All right. You got one right. One to go. So hey, Pierce, I believe the schedule won't mean a thing. Look at New England and Denver. Banned last year, AFC title games next year. It's destiny. Maybe it is. Professor, tune to the Boss Up Ball at 8 to give your thoughts on Anzalone and more. Pat, any given Sunday, Jameson, Wasn't he getting right? Question mark. Did you see the team before he got here? No, we'll have to check it out. So sir, people forget that Goff plays for the Lions. Do we know what that means? Question mark. Do you remember what that means? A cursed team, if I have ever seen one. Only NFC team never to be in the bowl, among other things. Yeah, and hopefully they get there. Pat and Silver Server, good with you on Goff. He's my quarterback. Silver Server, Pat Meek, smiling, strong Lion. Benjamin Brewer, Jets, Lions, some bad coaching. What difference does it make? All right, Phil, good morning. Good morning, Phil. Tilla, tinfoil hat theory. Lions are the number 3 favorites to win the Super Bowl by Vegas. Maybe they know that Tyler Linderbaum will sign with Detroit Lions the offseason. Wouldn't that be something if that happens? Black J.R. Jones, Green Bay grabbed Cardinals ex-head coach as their new defense coordinator. Correct with that. Black J.R. Jones, and we have their old OC. Hey, apparently the coaching staff in Arizona wasn't the problem. Henry Moore, have a glorious day, my friends. I'll chat with you tomorrow. We'll see you then. Stay warm. Good morning, Queen Mary, says Carrie. Michael, Coach Michael. My wife got a hold of you on Facebook for the History Channel. I'll send you my address to find out how much shipping cost is. All right, I'll check it out. Eddie, former Lions DB Don Carey is now Councilman Carey. Good for him. I'll tell the HUD. Jonathan, the tag is 27 million. Where did you get that ridiculous number? We'll find out. Randy Q, I want one. Bring it on. I know she's working on it, so we'll get it handled, and I'll get everybody prices and all that stuff for the hats. Phil, will Amon-Ra St. Brown want to stay with the Lions after his fans said stupid comments? Hey, some fans are always going to come after you. If you're that sensitive about it, you probably shouldn't pay attention to the fans. Stupid. It happens. Randy Q, feel so proud in starting the beanie hats sweater next. Hey, well, congrats for that, and thank you for that. Dennis, what do you got? Dennis, all right, here we go. Good morning, Dan Naduku. 88 likes currently. Go Lions! Exclamation point. Yeah, if you guys can, hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff. Miles Margaret, One Pride Worldwide, back at you. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If there is breaking news later today, I'll get it to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, if you be so kind, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Be a good human being, and we'll see you guys on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody. Have a phenomenal day. And hey, just try to stay warm.
Excuse me, sir. Would you donations to Reverend Moon? Jews for Jesus? Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism? Jerry's kids? Oh, yeah. Scientology? Or nuclear power?